Hi everybody, it's Melissa from CloudMom.com answering a question today from a viewer, Stephanie. She's written in, she has a 2-month-old baby. She's having trouble getting the baby to sleep, so I'm going to answer her question. Here's what Stephanie says. Melissa, help, laugh out loud. I am having an extremely difficult time with my 2-month-old getting him on any type of routine or schedule. He's pretty consistently been nursing every 3 hours during the day. She explains that the last feeding is taking place at around 10:30, 11 at night. He's then waking up at 4 in the morning. And after that, he's waking up at around 6:30 or 7 in the morning when Stephanie is trying to soothe him, get him to go back to sleep with a pacifier, which isn't working because the pacifier keeps falling out, so they're both awake. And Stephanie then describes that during the day, the baby doesn't really want to go down in the crib. She tries putting him down. He'll sometimes go down for 15 to 20 minutes. He likes to be held. He likes to be in the sling, smart baby. And it's hard for her because she has also a 3-year-old child. So anyway, then she talks a little bit about crying it out. She's tried to have the baby cry it out, and that's not working for her, which I actually agree with because a 2-month-old baby is young for that. So anyway, Stephanie, here's what my gut tells me listening to your situation, and I hope that it's helpful for you. First of all, this is a very young baby. 2 months is very young. And the baby's just getting used to being out in the world and all the differences, and it sounds like a lot of things are going really well. It sounds like you're on a really good, consistent feeding schedule during the day, which is terrific. It sounds also like between the last feeding and the 4 a.m. feeding, you're getting a pretty nice long stint. The baby's going 5.5 hours between feedings, which is really great. This is key sleep time for you, Stephanie. You have to make sure that when you're doing that last feeding, you're ready for bed, and once that baby's done, boom, you're in bed and you're getting your rest so that you get a nice long stint before the 4 a.m. feeding. After the 4 a.m. feeding, you described that the baby's back up again already at 6:30, 7 in the morning, which sounds exhausting. I agree, I've been there. And you wonder what's happening with that. My question is, what's going on at the 4 a.m. feeding? This is a really hard thing to do as a new mom because you're so exhausted. But what paid off for me the most was to just sit there, even if it was the middle of the night, maybe get have a nice cup of warm milk before or whatever to try to get myself a little bit energetic and just sit there and feed the baby and make sure that the baby was full and burped and awake, because when I didn't do that, they were back up again within 2 hours. So take a careful look at that 4 a.m. feeding and see what's going on. 6:37 in the morning, you say you're trying to give him a pass, he keeps falling out, you have to keep putting it back in. It's not working for either of you, so I would say forget that. If your baby won't settle down, it's going to be so tiring, but just get up and feed him again. At that point, try to swaddle him once he's awake and full and burped. Try to give him a tight arms and swaddle and put him back in the crib. I hope this is helpful. During the day, okay, sometimes I found with my babies that I would miss the window on their naps, that there was a point in time where they became drowsy and they were ready to go to sleep. And if I caught it right then and I gave them a tight swaddle, put them in the crib, they really would go down for a nice nap. So try putting your baby down a little earlier even. And what I relied upon a lot was the bouncy seat. I would feed my baby, burp him, spin. It would take a whole hour, hour and a half sometimes. But then I would put him in the bouncy seat for a bit. And once he was looking drowsy, I would do the tight swaddle and put him down in the crib. That is what worked the best for me. I would turn the lights off. I would try to have him by himself in a room, no distractions, to get that good nap in. So I don't know what your napping situation is like, but try to aim for some of those things. And hang in there. You have a very young baby. It sounds like he's doing beautifully, eating so frequently. And I want to hear how it's going. Please follow up with us on CloudMom. You can tweet me on Twitter. You can put a comment on my site. Let me know how it's going. I really, really appreciate your coming to me with your questions about your beautiful baby. And I hope that I can be helpful. And thank you so much for watching my videos. And I look forward to seeing you guys back here again on CloudMom.com.